There we go. Hi, I'm Mindy, and I'm here to talk to you today about my top three character strengths. So, of course, I've taken personality quizzes before. Everyone knows them. You come across them at random on social media. They all have weird names like, what kind of dog are you? Or what flower matches your personality? And of course, there are obviously the much more scientific versions, such as the Myers-Briggs, where you learn you're an ENFJ or an INFP. And however, I always felt that those tests are either, I always felt those tests were amusing or semi insightful, but they never seemed like they truly were a description of me. The character traits test with VIA seems a whole different story. I'd like to say the answers surprised me, but they really didn't. What did surprise me was the order that they all came in. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like they make total sense. I just wish I could see the percentage of scores and how these were chosen for the spot that they land. I feel there are probably a few overlaps. Obviously, I feel like some could not be without the others or result from the others, and others still I feel will fall on equal ground together. Why I say this is simple. My top three character traits all seem to coincide to me. My top I'm sorry. My top three strengths are appreciation of beauty and excellence, which falls under the virtue of transcendence, social intelligence, which falls under the humanity virtue, and love, which also falls under the humanity category. Not only are these my top three strengths on my character chart, but they also seem a good reflection of my true self. I mean, honestly, I knew they were all high parts of my character, but I didn't expect them to be so high. I feel if I had taken this test 10 years ago, it would not have been the same, which proves that character can change and grow, and that we recognize it in ourselves. Now, my top character strength surprised me that it was on top. Don't get me wrong, it has always been true in my life. I am a firm believer in there is beauty in all things. I just didn't realize that it could be such a great character strength until I really looked at the positive correlates that go with it. The first thing that really made me go, "Oh yeah, that is part of it," is the correlation of being open to new experiences. Learning, trying, and seeing new things always excites me. And being able to find beauty and joy, even in the most mundane of experiences, is definitely a strength for anyone. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, how can you find beauty and joy in something like, I don't know, filing taxes? I mean, you can't get much more mundane. But weirdly, I discovered that being able to understand the process and fill everything out and it comes out to right, that can be so satisfying. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that I enjoy doing it, but it simply means that I can always find a way to look at a task not just as something dull that I have to do, but as something that even if I have to do it, there's no reason why I can't do it well and make it the best. Another positive correlation from having an appreciation of beauty and excellence is that it gives the capacity for change and self improvement. The world is not static, and neither are we. I've always believed that everyone has the potential to grow and become a better version of themselves. Of course, it takes effort, but so does anything worth doing. Being able to grow and change is one of the best aspects of being a person. We are not stagnant like a pond unless we mire ourselves deep in the swamps of despair. But even if we find ourselves in that swamp, sometimes if you just pause and take a deep breath and look around, you may find the rays of hope shining through the trees to land on the perfect branch to grab and pull yourself out. The last positive correlation of appreciating beauty and excellence manifests itself in my life as well as in my goals. It is altruism. I care far more about others than myself. When I was younger, before I had a better sense of self, this was actually detrimental. At the point in my life, the old saying, at certain points of my life, that old saying of there's a sucker born every minute definitely applied to me. I'm a sucker for a sob story and would give my last dollar even if I really needed it. Now I've learned boundaries, and while I still care for others far more than I should, I've mostly learned to properly distinguish between what is someone or something that really needs help or just another scam. But what's really important to me about this aspect is that it shows my top character strength truly aligns with my goals. I'm working to become a veterinarian to help animals, but my long term plan with doing so is to open a senior animal rescue. Sadly, we all have the collective experience of having a beloved pet who got to be too old, too much, too something. And one day the pet is gone, and we are all told that it went to live on the farm. We all wish this was true, but most of the time, these pets get dropped off on back roads in the middle of nowhere. I want to be the farm. No living creature deserves to die old and alone. My second of my top three strengths is social intelligence. I feel like it's a very important aspect of my character, as well as something that actually correlates with my appreciation of beauty and excellence. After all, without social intelligence, you may never find those experiences to enjoy. If there's one thing that I've truly learned from the professional world, it's not what you know, but who you know. Having a strong aspect in social intelligence gives me the ability to just adjust my behavior to the required setting. It's part of why I feel I have the ability to hold a conversation with the president and a homeless person and allow neither of them or myself to feel uncomfortable. All humans go through a veritable range of emotions. Being able to aptly recognize a situation and tweak it to, if not an advantage, then at least a comfortable medium can be very useful. It really is a character strength that I use every day while I work. I work in sales, and every different set of people that I interact with requires a different set of social skills and levels. The interaction with team members requires a different social intelligence than an interaction with management, and the interaction with clients is a whole different level. I always knew that I had this skill as I thought it was. I always knew that I had the skill, which is what I thought it was. But until taking the VIA test, I never realized it was a character trait. Now, after hearing about the top two character strengths I have, the number three slot shouldn't be a surprise to you at all. It definitely didn't surprise me. The third is love. Love promotes positive relationships, positive functioning, and high self esteem. My love for animals, my love for people, my love for myself, and most importantly, my love for life in all its aspects and experiences is a reflection in my life and in all aspects of my character. Now, this is obviously not 100% of who I am. After all, it's only three character strengths from a list of 24, and each of them represents a different part of me. But these are my core. Though I would like to add the next one to the list on the top, which is creativity, landing at number 4. But honestly, I could tell you about all the other aspects of my character as I go down the list. I'm sure everyone can. But these strengths are the strengths that guide me every day as I strive to do and believe and be everything that I dream. Thank you.